Alright guys, so in today's video we got a quick breakdown with Seth Gaming on what we expect for the Town Hall 15 update. I know that the new update has already started, having sneak peeks coming out, but I wanted to share this conversation with you guys anyway. We're going to be talking about what we expect from the update as a whole, and there's a part 2 over on his channel as well. I'm also going to be making daily updates based on the sneak peeks on how the update is going to affect you guys. I'm not going to break down the updates, but I am going to talk about, exactly what we can interpret from the sneak peeks. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to go ahead and stick around. Now let's get into it. How likely do you think that we'll get Town Hall 15 this next update?
Like October, I think it's like almost guaranteed. And in the video that they posted, I think it was just talking about Clash of Clans and kind of their schedule for updates. This year they said Town Hall 15 and beyond. I don't know what that beyond is, but that could be like the December update. So Town Hall 15 is probably going to be this update, and then whatever else they have planned is going to be in the last update of the year before next year.
And I think also like an important thing to note is like maybe we're not getting all of Town Hall 15. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they'll release new levels or whatever like as we continue on. I thought it was like a really quick turnaround from the time that they actually like gave us Town Hall 15, and then they also gave us like clan capitals, right? Because they said the whole dev team was working on clan capitals, and then all of a sudden we're looking at Town Hall 15.
Yeah, that's true, but I was thinking that they're still probably going to have some kind of new like signature defense. I don't know if they're going to upgrade the Town Hall at all. Like they've gone from like the Tesla to the Inferno, and they've upgraded the bomb every year, which isn't that hard, but it is kind of hard to come up with new mechanics, like for a new defense, maybe new troops and stuff. So that is true. Like that's a pretty quick turnaround. So I wonder if they're going to have like a really complex signature defense or not. They're probably going to have some new buildings. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a new signature defense because of what they've done with the Barracks. For Town Hall 14, they just had the battle builders and they didn't need to add any more buildings. But I have a feeling because of what they've done with the Barracks that they're planning to add some special buildings for this update. That's just what I think. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I was kind of interested to see whether or not, because we removed 4 buildings, right? So I was trying to get interested to see whether or not we're gonna get all 4 of those buildings this time around, or maybe like 1 or 2, and then they're backlogging for later,
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking. Probably for Town Hall 16, they might save a couple spots.
I think overall the Barracks upgrades, I mean, I know I like talk about rushing and stuff a lot, right? It does a lot for like players who are progressing, right? Trying to get there, because you don't have to do these 4 like really like mid-tier upgrades anymore. And then on top of that, I think they need a signature defense, Battle builders were a cool idea, but I think the novelty of them really died out over 18 months, So we need a signature defense, and I hope it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So how do you think the Barracks change is gonna affect strategic rushing, or do you think it's gonna make a huge difference at all?
I think it basically what's gonna happen is that you have less upgrades now. And when those upgrades are going on, you only have the penalty of having like halftime on your upgrades, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to allow players, just by the sake of having less upgrades, it's going to allow them to upgrade faster. And also on top of that, it's going to make sure that, for example, a player who's moving from Town Hall 10 to Town Hall 11, for them to get E-Drags and to train them for war or something, it would take them, a while because they have to upgrade all 4 barracks, right? Now it's just a single upgrade. So what that's going to do is it's really going to change things a lot in pushing players to max out those troops like earlier, and reaping their benefits earlier as well, right? So overall, I think it's a great update. I think it shaves time to max at every Town Hall level, right? So no complaints there.
Do you think, because they're just cutting out 4 barracks, do you think they're going to adjust like the upgrade time or like the cost of the barracks upgrades now? Because that's cutting off like weeks of upgrade time and tons of elixir upgrades. So I feel like they would have to do something to balance that out. Maybe they're planning something for Town Hall 15 that's gonna balance that out somehow.
I don't think they will, and the reason is because you can't really make that disadvantage too long, right? Because if you do, like, players are gonna be like, I can't train, it takes me an hour, right? And the other thing is that whenever they add a Town Hall, right? The Town Hall 2 levels before gets major chops. So for example, if they add Town Hall 15, Town Hall 13 will have a lot of time reductions, simply because it's going to make players allow them to get to 14 and 15 faster. So it might affect that. Maybe they'll do less chops than they usually do at Town Hall 13 because they've already chopped some time here. But only time will tell, you know.
I was also thinking, because they're removing 4 barracks, that's going to leave 4 building space, obviously, but I don't think they're going to add 4 new signature defenses, so I think there's room for the possibility of a new hero altar. I personally didn't think they were going to add a new hero, and I'm still not really sure, but I mean, there's room because they decided to remove buildings instead of like weaponized buildings like they did with the battle builders. There's room. I mean, they could definitely add a 5th hero if they wanted, and it could be kind of the thing that people have thrown around. You could use 4 heroes and then like 1 you would have to leave behind. I don't know how they would do it, but there's that possibility.
The thing about the heroes is that obviously they come every 2 levels. People have been expecting it. They know people have been expecting it. And that's something I didn't consider. The hero altar is a building as well, right? So that's something I didn't consider. So they do have the space for it, but the thing that I'm worried about is, do they have a functionality for it? You know what I'm saying? We already have a defense targeting hero. We have a support hero. We have 2 heroes that are like targeting all buildings, but the king and queen are different, right? In what they're good at. One's a tank, one's a damage. So what can you offer? You know what I'm saying? In a hero, I was personally thinking like an air hero, like up in the air, like strictly. But that's the only thing I can think about. And then if there is a hero like that, how is it going to be any different than a super dragon, right? Like, I'm not sure.
One thing I heard, I think it was in a Judo Sloth video, but he was talking about how one of the devs said that they don't put out updates that we're going to expect, like things that we've predicted. Like, they're going to put out updates that we have no idea about, that we are totally blown away by, because that's how they keep us engaged, by always surprising us. So they're always really good at coming up with these unique new mechanics. So if they put out a new hero, I think for sure it's going to be very unique. But personally, I don't know what new mechanic they could add. People have thrown out the idea of like a resource targeting hero, but I don't think that would be very functional except for farming. I don't think that would be a good idea. I have no clue what they could do.
But an interesting idea for me is, like, you were talking about unexpected updates, and one of the things that really excites me is the fact that they remove 4 buildings. Because what if we're getting a new feature entirely?
Yeah, that would be really interesting. I kind of think it's too early for a new feature because they just came out with the pets. But I mean, they could make another passive feature that adds more fun to the game. But like for pets, you don't have to control them at all. They're kind of a passive aspect of the game. They could add something else like that. I don't know what they would do, but I feel like it's too early. I feel like they would be better off just adding more pets.
How likely do you think it is that we're gonna get new pets?
I think it's very likely that we're gonna get at least another pet, but I'm not sure how many we're gonna get. Probably not more than 2. I just feel like that's too much at once. Maybe they'll roll out some more later, but I definitely think we're getting more pets.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 2 would be good, because what you don't want is like you release 1 pet and then there's like a combination that always works, and then the other pet is completely obsolete, right?
So what do you think about a new troop? Usually with every town hall they add another level of barracks. It's usually for the previous town hall for some reason. So we'll probably get another barracks upgrade for town hall 14, which will introduce a new troop. I think it's going to be a ground troop. And also, if we get a new signature defense, we've gotten the scatter shot, we've gotten the eagle artilleries, the infernos, expos, like all of those target air and ground. I feel like we need another ground defense. We haven't gotten one in forever. So I feel like that would be a good combination of a ground troop and a new ground defense to kind of counter each other.
I actually agree with you. So I'm not super into the competitive meta for Clash of Clans, but I do know that air has dominated for a very long time. What an interesting concept is a lot of people were saying that the miner getting a bomb from the wall breaker could be like a new concept. Maybe just touch on that. Like, what do you think about that concept?
My thoughts from that concept is that the miner would like carry a bomb with him, maybe like on his back, and then when he dies, it would just drop and explode, which doesn't seem that unique to me. Like the balloons do that, dragon riders have death damage, or that would just be the super miner. Yeah, about this new super troop, I feel like we haven't gotten one in a while. I would like to see a super hog rider, but it could really be anything, including a super miner. But I feel like we need a new super troop. We haven't gotten one in a while.
Did also see, I don't know if you saw, but there was an image that they released, I think when Hammer Jam dropped, of the hog riders, and one hog rider had his hammer on fire. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh, like burn damage when he hits the buildings or something?
Yeah, burn damage, exactly, for like the hog rider.
Yeah, I think that I've made some super troop concept videos, and a lot of mine had to do with burn damage, because I feel like we have a lack of that mechanic. And yeah, my idea for the super hog rider was actually like when he dies, his hog starts fighting for him, but it could really be anything. Again, I feel like people have said that, and Supercell wants to surprise us with something, so they're probably going to come up with something different.
And then it's interesting to see like how much burn damage counteracts with like, you know, builders trying to repair a building or something like that. So it would be cool. It would be a cool idea, but I guess we'll see, you know. If you guys want to know about what types of cosmetics we can expect for Town Hall 15, as well as the themes that Seth had planned for Town Hall 15, you can go ahead and check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.